Welcome to Think, Explore, and Learn. In this video, we will be exploring the bestseller book, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Habits are a fundamental part of our lives, and they play a significant role in shaping our behavior, actions, and ultimately our destiny. The Power of Habit provides readers with a deep understanding of how habits work, how they are formed, and how we can change them to improve our lives. From personal habits to organizational habits, this book explores how habits shape every aspect of our lives and how we can harness the power of habits to achieve lasting change. In this summary, we will explore the key ideas and insights of this book and provide actionable advice to help you create and maintain good habits in your life. So, let's dive in and explore the fascinating world of habits and how they shape our lives. Have you ever struggled to break a bad habit, like smoking or unhealthy eating, only to find yourself back at square one after a few weeks? If so, you understand the power of habits. But where does this power come from? In The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, we discovered that habits are deeply ingrained in the human brain and psyche, shaping our lives in countless ways. While habits make certain tasks easier, they can also cause problems and even ruin lives. But by understanding how habits work, we can learn to pick up or drop any habit we wish. In this summary, we'll explore why anticipation is key to habit formation, what the famous marshmallow test reveals about our ability to resist temptation, and a useful method for breaking bad habits called the latte method. So, let's dive into the fascinating world of habits together. Habits are formed through a simple cue routine reward loop that enables our brain to save effort and perform common tasks efficiently. Researchers at MIT studied mice to understand how habits are formed in the brain. The study showed that as the mice gradually learned where the chocolate was and memorized how to get there, their brain activity decreased. This process of turning a sequence of actions into an automatic routine is known as chunking, and it forms the basis of all habit formation. Any habit can be broken down into a three-part loop, where a cue triggers a routine that leads to a reward. Habits are incredibly resilient as they are stored in the basal ganglia, a small neurological structure deep in the brain. This resilience means that even if you successfully break a bad habit, like smoking, you will always be at risk of relapsing. In the next section, we'll explore the importance of understanding the cues and rewards that drive our habits and how to use that knowledge to create positive change in our lives. Habits are powerful because they create cravings for the rewards at the end of the habit loop. When we try to kick a bad habit, we feel a strong desire for the reward, which makes it difficult to break the habit. Research from the 1990s conducted by neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz shows that the anticipation of a reward is the neurological basis of craving. This helps explain why habits are so powerful, as the brain begins to anticipate the reward as soon as the habit loop is triggered. Craving works for forming good habits as well, as people who exercise habitually crave the endorphin rush, sense of accomplishment, or treats they allow themselves afterward. Companies understand the power of habits and work hard to create such cravings in consumers. A pioneer of this tactic is Claude Hopkins, who popularized Pepsodent toothpaste by providing a reward that created a craving, the cool, tingling sensation that consumers began to crave and associate with the effectiveness of the product. In the next section, we'll explore how to use the knowledge of cues, routines, and rewards to change our habits and create positive change in our lives. To change a habit, we should redirect the craving by keeping the same cues and rewards, but changing the routine that occurs as a result of the craving. By identifying the cues and rewards of a habit and replacing the routine with one that has a similar reward, the chances of breaking the habit increase significantly. Alcoholics Anonymous uses this method to help alcoholics achieve sobriety by asking them to list what they crave from drinking and then providing new routines that address those cravings. However, research on AA members shows that this method alone is not enough to resist relapse and stay sober. Belief is a crucial component of breaking a habit, and spirituality and God feature prominently in AA philosophy. Believing in the possibility of change for oneself makes a person stronger in the face of stressful life events. In the next section, we'll explore how habits can be used to create organizational change and achieve success in business. Organizations and individuals can achieve change by focusing on keystone habits and achieving small wins. Keystone habits are more important than other habits because adhering to them creates positive effects that spill over into other areas. Paul O'Neill, former CEO of Alcoa, knew that habits exist in organizations and that changing an organization's direction is a matter of changing its habits. By insisting that worker safety come first, O'Neill created a keystone habit that resulted in a highly streamlined and profitable production organization. Keystone habits can help individuals change too, by providing small wins that trigger a cascade of positive change. For instance, when obese patients focus on developing one keystone habit, such as keeping a meticulous food journal, other positive habits start to take root as well. By understanding the power of habits can help us achieve our goals and live a more fulfilling life. Willpower is a keystone habit that can have positive impacts in various areas of life. Stanford researchers conducted a famous study in the 1960s that demonstrated the power of willpower. The study showed that children who exhibited the most willpower in resisting the temptation of eating a marshmallow ended up with better grades in school, were more popular, and had fewer drug addictions as adults. Recent studies have shown similar results, indicating that high levels of willpower are associated with better grades and higher chances of getting into selective schools. Willpower is like a muscle and can tire, but it can also be strengthened by engaging in habits that demand resolution. Starbucks, for example, developed the latte method to help employees stay calm in stressful situations. Finally, people are more likely to exhibit greater willpower if they have autonomy, rather than being ordered to do something. Continuing the discussion on organizational habits, the book explains how these habits can be dangerous and lead to disastrous consequences, as seen in the tragic events at the King's Cross station in London. Most organizations are like battlegrounds, with employees fighting for power and rewards, and as a result, individuals develop habits of staying within their departmental boundaries. However, a crisis can change these habits and offer an opportunity to reform them. The book cites the example of the London Underground, where a sense of emergency following the King's Cross fire led to the implementation of new safety measures, including appointing managers at every station whose primary responsibility was passenger safety. Effective leaders often prolong a crisis or exacerbate it to reform organizational habits and bring about positive change. Companies have long known the power of habits in marketing and have developed subtle ways to influence consumers' purchasing behavior. By placing fresh fruits and vegetables at the entrance of supermarkets, retailers increase the chances that shoppers will subsequently purchase unhealthier products, such as snacks and cookies. Similarly, retailers often position their most profitable products to the right of the entrance, as most people instinctively turn right when entering a store. While these methods are one-size-fits-all and don't account for differences in individual purchasing behavior, increasingly sophisticated technology and data collection have made it possible to target customers with greater precision. One notable example is the American retailer Target, which used its vast data stores to target a specific and highly profitable segment of the population, new parents. The company even marketed to pregnant women, tracking their purchasing habits to do so. Although Target got flack for its invasive approach to marketing, the company's revenues increased significantly due to its work with targeting pregnant women. Movements are often born from a combination of strong ties, weak ties, peer pressure, and new habits. In the case of the Montgomery bus boycott sparked by Rosa Parks, it was her strong ties that allowed the word of her arrest to spread throughout the community. However, it was the combination of weak ties and peer pressure that helped sustain the boycott for over a year. As carpooling rules were introduced, the final component was added: a speech by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that advocated nonviolence and forgiveness towards oppressors. This message helped the movement become a self-propelling force and encouraged people to form new habits, such as independently organizing church meetings and peaceful protests. The Montgomery bus boycott is a great example of how strong ties, weak ties, peer pressure, and new habits can combine to create a powerful movement for change. The stories of Brian Thomas and Angie Bachman illustrate an important point. While habits can be powerful drivers of behavior, we ultimately bear the responsibility for our actions. Once we become aware of a harmful habit, it becomes our responsibility to address and change it. This responsibility can be daunting, especially when it comes to ingrained habits that feel hardwired. However, as we have seen, habits can be broken with intention and effort. It is up to each of us to decide whether we want to continue being controlled by our habits or take charge of our lives and reshape them. Changing our habits is not an easy task. It requires identifying the cue that triggers the habit, understanding the reward that reinforces it, and finding an alternative behavior that satisfies the same need. It takes time, persistence, and patience. But the good news is that small changes can have big impacts. As we have listened throughout this book, habits are an integral part of our lives, both personally and professionally. They shape our routines, our thoughts, and our actions. They can make us more productive, healthy, and successful, or they can hold us back. Ultimately, the key to mastering our habits is to understand how they work and to develop the skills and strategies to shape them in ways that serve our goals and aspirations. By doing so, we can transform our lives and unlock our true potential. In conclusion, by understanding how habits work, we can learn to create new ones and break old ones. Changing habits can be difficult, but by identifying the cue, routine, and reward of a habit, we can substitute the routine with something else while keeping the cue and reward intact. Focusing on keystone habits, such as willpower, can help to achieve lasting change. Organizations can also use crises to change their habits, as exemplified by the King's Cross station fire, which led to the reform of safety procedures in the London Underground. While companies take advantage of habits in their marketing, individuals are responsible for changing their habits. By being aware of harmful habits and taking responsibility for changing them, we can work towards creating positive habits that benefit us and those around us. The book offers practical advice on adopting a keystone habit, such as making your bed every morning to improve well-being and productivity. Thank you for listening to this book's summary on The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. We hope you found it informative and insightful, and that it gave you some ideas on how to create new positive habits in your life. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Think, Explore, and Learn for more informative and thought-provoking content. Also, feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts or any suggestions for future videos. And don't forget to check out our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.